In this video, I'm going to do a quick introduction to the conditional if statement or if loop. So the syntax of this goes, if some condition, the condition you specify, is true, then it's going to execute those statements. So, for example, the best way I think to explain this is if it's raining outside, so if that's the condition that it's raining, then you bring an umbrella. The underlined is what the user can manipulate. If and then, however, are basic commands in the code already defined. So if it's raining, then bring an umbrella. In this case, if it's not raining, there's nothing else to do. Some more syntax is having an else included within the if loop. If the condition is true, then those statements are executed. Else, then the following statements are executed. What this is saying, else basically means that if this is not true. Else means that that condition was false. For example, if it's raining, then you would bring an umbrella. Else, that means that it's not raining, then you'd leave your umbrella at home, assuming that you were taking a trip. In this case, you would end your if loop with an end if statement. End if is not required in the previous syntax as long as the code is on the same line. Let's say that there are multiple conditions. If one condition is true, then execute these statements. Else if, combined into one word, else if, a different condition is true, then execute these statements. Else, if the first condition or the second condition, if neither of them are true, then execute these statements, or this statement. Then, end if. So a good example of that, so if it's raining, then bring the umbrella. Else if there is a possible chance of rain or rain is possible, then you're going to put the umbrella in the car so that you have it for later. Else, you're just going to leave your umbrella at home. If there's no rain in the forecast, you don't need to worry about your umbrella. Then, end the if statement. So now that I've explained how the if loop works, let's go ahead and implement it with code. So first, we're going to put in a button. And we're going to just leave this as button 1 _ click new. This button is going to see if our guess matches the chosen number. First, we are going to have to initialize some variables. So dim guess, so the variable guess is going to be an integer. So it's assigned as an integer. And we're going to say that guess is going to be equal to whatever the user puts in cell A1. So it's the value that's entered in A1. Now we're going to say if the guess is equal to the chosen number. So let's choose any number. Let's say 10. So if this guess is equal to 10, then let's say in cell A2, so directly below, the value of that, we're going to put a string and we're going to say correct. What this is saying, that this variable guess is whatever is entered into cell A1. And if that number in cell A1 is equal to 10, then it's going to display that we got the guess correct. And because this if statement is on one line, we do not need to include an end if. Let's go ahead and run this. So in A1, I'm going to type in any number I want. So let's do 9. Nothing happened. Let's try putting in the correct number, 10. And then in A2, it displays that I'm correct. If I enter in a wrong number, I want it to say that I am incorrect. So I'm going to go back into the editor and do an else statement. Else, I want range A2 to say wrong. And I'm just going to rearrange this so it's a little bit easier to read now. So if the guess equals 10, it's going to say correct. Else, meaning that the guess does not equal 10, it's going to say wrong. And I'm going to end this statement, so end if. So let's try a new number, 8. Now it displays wrong. Let's try 11. Wrong again. 10. Correct. If a user didn't know the number, and it could be any number possible, it would take them a very long time to figure out what the correct number is. What I would like to do next is if they guess too high, it displays too high. And if they guess too low, it displays too low, as opposed to just displaying wrong for either one. So in the editor, instead of an else, I'm going to say else if. So else if the guess is less than 10, then instead of saying wrong, I want it to say too low. So if the guess is equal to 10, that's correct. If the guess is less than 10, it's too low. So we have less than 10 and equal to 10. If it's not equal to 10 and it's not less than 10, there's only one other option. And that option would be that it's greater than 10. And if it's greater than 10, that's too high. Let's go ahead and try that. So I'm going to type in 5, too low. 90, too high. 10, correct.